Now, the reason why I'm redoing speech 3 is because I did make a mistake in the delivery of one of my sources. When delivering the United Way's CEO's income, I made it sound as though he made $1,236,611 both last year and in 2015, when I meant to say that the source was from last year and the income that he received was in 2015. So I'll be correcting that during the redo of this speech. But I will also be dialing up an audience during the speech. And here we go. When it comes to charitable giving, we all give for different reasons. But regardless of what is motivating us, the one thing we can all agree upon is that it would be nice if our hard-earned charitable dollars were actually making a difference. But I'm telling you that we are being ripped off big time by big charity. And we should all be upset about this. Presently, the 2016 Nonprofit Almanac by Nathan Dietz, Bryce McKeever, and Sanjay Fife lists more than 1.5 million recognized tax-exempt charities, all of which are competing for our income. By far, the best of these charities are small, local charities, such as our local churches, that are helping the communities we know and love. But the problem is that the big Goliath charities are outcompeting our small, local charities, and in the process, literally billions of our dollars are being laid to waste. Telling the difference between a charity that is doing its job and a charity that is ripping you off big time is not that hard. Jesus summed it up nicely in an analogy when he said, "Ye will know them by their fruit." When evaluating a charity, ask yourself this question: do I know anybody that has ever been helped by this charity? This is very telling. For example, every year I get a form from work asking me how much I want deducted from my paycheck for the United Way. As far as charities go, the United Way is the Goliath amongst Goliaths. In an article titled "The Largest U.S. Charities for 2016" from the December 2016 edition of Forbes magazine, William Barrett points out that even with a 4% drop in contributions from the previous year, the United Way still outstripped the second largest charity by more than $500 million. My big problem is, I don't know anybody that has been helped by the United Way. I do know from information that was published last year on the United Way's official website that their CEO received $1,236,611 of income in 2015. Compare that with the median household income in America of just over $55,000, as reported in 2015 by the United States Census Bureau. And the United Way is a nonprofit charity that rakes in almost $4 billion a year. And the only fruit I know it bears is an executive compensation package that is 22 times larger than the median income in America. On a personal note, my time of need came when my wife got sick with cancer. She couldn't work, and our household income was essentially cut in half. At one point, we were spending more than $1,000 a week in our war against the disease. To be sure, we were going through a hard time. But of the 1.5 million charity groups out there, only the local churches actually stepped up and offered assistance. I cannot speak highly enough of our local churches. During our time of need, they provided us with meals, financial assistance, and free counseling services. I did reach out to charities, but all it got me was on their mailing lists. More than 1,000 solicitation phone calls and fundraising flyers later, I still haven't received any help, support, advice, or guidance from them. I'm telling you from my own personal experience, if you want to help people in need, the best place to put your money is in the local church. Some of you will ask, what about trouble abroad? What about supporting the aid workers going to Haiti, Honduras, Malaysia, etc.? Call me a skeptic, but I've noticed the one thing all of these charities have in common is a tropical paradise. 5-star hotels line the beaches to accommodate thousands of aid workers each year. In Haiti alone, according to a 2015 report by Richard Knox of NPR titled 5 Years After Haiti's Earthquake, Where Did the $13.5 billion go? The article explains how more than $13.5 billion charitable dollars have poured into that country since 2010, and it's nowhere near fixed. As far as I can tell, the only fruit these charities are bearing are golden brown tangs on sunny beaches. All that being said, giving to your local church will help places abroad, because most churches have a missionary outreach program that will send and support aid workers all over the world. Now, on this planet, I realize that people aren't the only creatures in need. We've all seen the suffering animal commercials by Africa and wanted to give. But as of this year, the authority in evaluating the effectiveness of nonprofit charities, that is known as Charity Watch, gives the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals an F, as in failing grade, noting that their commercials cost on average a whopping $250,000. That's $250,000. Contrast that with our local Joplin shelter, where the cost of one of their commercials could cover the immunization and sponsorship of more than 3,500 animals. If nothing else, I hope this information has persuaded you to give more money to local charities rather than the big Goliath, highly publicized charities that are, for the most part, a ripoff. Furthermore, and lastly, I highly recommend that you give specifically to your local church, pound for pound and dollar for dollar. I know from experience that there just isn't another charity group out there that is doing more to help people than them.